I don't know. The thing that came to my mind was spaghetti.
Nah, definitely not.
Nah, man. I haven't had good spaghetti in a long time. I haven't had
I
good
actually don't like spaghetti anymore.
You don't like spaghetti anymore?
I have a reason. When I was like teenager, basically, I had it like once every week, like a special night for spaghetti, and I just got so tired of it. I still do not like it a decade later.
Okay. See, you gotta get that homemade, made from love spaghetti. That's what you need. That's that good shit.
You go for some meatballs right now, though.
Meatballs. Oh man. All right, did the live button work? What's going on, chat? How y'all doing? This is about to be a real quick podcast. This podcast it's not even gonna last long. I can tell you that right now. Ace, Sweet Life of Dio, Yusuf, is that how you say your name, bro? All right. Joshua, Kogan.
Yo, Ace is here. Ace is here without Riku. He can talk all the shit about Trails he wants.
Oh yeah. Ace, Riku is not here, so talk all the shit about Trails that you want, bro. It's a wrap. Trails is on the chopping block today. I'm telling y'all that right now. Y'all can do whatever y'all want, as long as y'all don't say no slander about certain characters and y'all know what characters that is. We good. I don't care about anybody else. You could talk shit about anybody else, but y'all know what character that I say needs protection. Jet Life, what's up?
May not know anything about that character, but I can admit I like that design.
There you go. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, if you don't know, just keep it to yourself. All right, man. Yeah, chat. This is about to be a short one. Not too much members could make it tonight, but it is what it is. We'll talk about the topics that we can talk about, and then we'll just shoot the breeze, I guess, and talk about the games that we're currently playing and whatnot. Let's see. Make sure the volume is good. Man, that latency is so low. I like that. Black Ace, what's up? Let's see. Make sure everything is working. Yeah, I think everything is good to go. Look at this man Ace Breaker already starting in the chat.
We ain't telling him to say that.
Oh my god, already starting in the chat, man. Look at this man. Already going at it, man. But it's okay.
The Bow and Sosuke podcast featuring Shadow Elite. Oh my.
We already know what the truth is, so we ain't even got to get into that. We already know what the truth is. Let me ask you guys a question in the chat. Did you guys get like a notification that this was going live, or did you just like remember or something like that? Did you set the notification? Did you get the notification? What's up? Talk to me. I want to know what's going on, because apparently some of my videos are not getting to people's sub feeds.
That's been my case for years now on YouTube.
I got like I think 2 or 3 people on the last video of mine, or a couple of last videos of mine, be like, "Oh man, I've been subscribed for a while, but your videos haven't been coming to my feed." And I'm like, "What?
Take a short break and YouTube punishes you."
It's ridiculous.
At least for me.
Actually, yeah, it's kind of true, because like I swear I used to watch one person's channel like crazy, and then I stopped watching their channel completely, and then they just completely got out of my feed. Because I don't know about you, I used to use the subscriptions tab to look for new videos, but I kind of go to just the YouTube front page now for stuff. So I don't know.
I would love to use my sub feed, but barely any videos get in there. Like, I'm subbed to over 200 people, and like on average maybe 15 people's videos pop up in my sub feed.
That is crazy, man. If you really don't upload a lot, or you don't like, cause I see a lot now that people have been using like the community posts to make sure their stuff gets to the front, or people don't forget about them to check out their stuff, which is something I probably gotta do as well.
What's the community like? Don't you need like to be at a certain amount to use community posts?
I have no clue. I know you need a certain amount to get monetized, but I ain't know about community posts. Got a notification today, but it didn't show up. Okay. A couple people got the notification. It popped up suddenly. There wasn't a notification. Okay. Yeah, the YouTube algorithm is it's a dangerous beast, man. You can't just get caught up in it, or else you're just gonna.
I hate how random it is, because I don't know if you've seen it, but these like 1 minute or shorter videos are now popping up everywhere.
Yeah, because they're trying to compete with like TikTok, Instagram Reels, and stuff like that. So they prioritize those probably.
I understand why they're trying to keep up, but at the same time, I don't think that's what this platform has ever been about. People go to those if they just want something quick, but you'd come to YouTube to actually sit down and watch something.
Yeah, exactly. But
so it's weird to just see them go, nah, man, we got to keep up with that. That's what's hot.
But like TikTok is crazy though, because like I literally will spend like an hour just scrolling up on TikTok. That thing is dangerous.
I don't think I've never downloaded TikTok, so like I wouldn't know what that's like.
Yeah, don't do it. It's a massive like time sink. I mean, it's cool. Like if you're out and about, and you need to kill some time real quick, you can just go on TikTok and just start scrolling up. But like, man, if you plan to get stuff done, don't open up TikTok.
Duly noted.
All right, let me see. I think everything is going well. So yeah, chat, just us. We're gonna be talking about our thoughts on Tales of Arise and the Pokemon Arceus and Diamond and Pearl, which looks like. Well, I'm not gonna say what it looks like. It's just gonna be is what it is. Migrate to OnlyFans. Oh man.
Man said migrate to a burning ship. Why would you do that?
That's interesting how OnlyFans is gonna do without its adult content. I'm curious how that's gonna work.
It's probably gonna fall to the wayside, just like Tumblr.
Yeah, that's probably what's gonna happen. Because unfortunately they need money, and to get the money they need investors, and investors ain't putting their money into I guess questionable material, I guess you could say.
Sure.
But what's crazy is another platform is going to arise and take the OnlyFans void. But that's also going to be only like a sinking ship eventually. Like, it's going to eventually stop doing that once it get big enough. Once you get too big, you need outside revenue, like, to help out. So, like, man, I hope these OnlyFans people, I hope they've been building up their wealth, and they've been investing.
Is that a Riku-san 1 in the chat I see?
Lord?
Oh man, this man out here. All right, so let's get the whole thing down, guys. HPMP JRPG Podcast, episode 68. We're live right now. Make sure you hit that like button. Help us battle the YouTube algorithm beast that apparently has always been plaguing my channel, but I haven't really been paying attention to. Because I think my channel does just fine, but apparently the algorithm has been it's been screwing me over as of late. So yeah, if you're here, just hit that like button, engage with us in the chat. We're live right now, but we're also on other podcast platforms. We're on Google Play, we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and just a whole bunch more at this point. So if you want to support us on there because you can't be here live, that'd be great. Maybe just hook us up with a 5-star review or just a review in general. Helps out the podcast. Okay, yeah, these introductions is about to be short, but yeah, go right ahead, Bow.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Bowser, the character, the Super Robot Wars Advocate. Welcome to episode
What game is
68
that?
of HPMP Podcast. We are going to have a short one tonight, as Shadow said, but hope to have the same type of fun we usually do. Thank you all for coming out on a Monday.
All right. Sosuke?
What's going on, everybody? It is your boy, the Wandering Gamer, Sosuke, here to talk about that Tales of Arise greatness, because, oh man, that game, a demo ain't sold me in a long time, and that this game done sold me, it done sold me harder than most commercials do.
I'd be surprised if I saw a commercial of Tales of Arise on TV. I'd be very surprised.
I have a funny story about a commercial for later.
Alright. And guys, you know me. I'm Shadow Elite, the primary antagonist, Mr. JRPG. Latest video up was about that Tales of Arise demo and the censorship on Tales of Arise, which will also, I guess we'll cover that as well, so to speak. And yeah, keep supporting the channel. Every like counts, every comment counts. You know, join the Discord if you want to talk about JRPGs, anime, movies, TV shows. Discord is there. We always discussing stuff. There's a nice little community there. You know, you might get roasted on some of your tastes, but you know, it is what it is. We help you develop some thick skin. Okay, it's not that bad. It's just, you know, we like to mess around a lot on my Discord. So, you know, just join that if you can. All right, so let's we want to jump right into it. We want to talk about Tales of Arise. Let's talk about Tales of Arise because we gotta talk about
Riku, we get it. You like Vita games. Innocence R ain't going nowhere.
this man Riku in the chat instead of being in the actual factual live stream with us in the Discord. But you know what, Riku, I'm gonna let that slide, man. I'm gonna let that slide. You know, I'm not even gonna say nothing to you, man, because you my guy. All right. Even though you crazy sometimes, but you my guy. All right, so let's talk about Tales of Arise. I got a lot to say on this, so I guess I can start off real quick, or you guys, you guys wanna start off?
I probably have the shortest thoughts of everyone, so I'll go first. I like it. I don't love it, but I want to love it. Characters so far, of course, we didn't see much, but they are very trope-ish, but they're likable and trope-ish, which I can deal with, so I'm okay with that. New battle system, which was the thing I was most worried about. Very fun. I am very curious to see how it evolves in the full game, because what we got a snippet of seems almost like, I guess, sort of mid-game, early mid-game, give or take. And I think this won't be like the, oh my god, next step in the Tales series that changes everything that we were hoping for, but I think it will be a decent entry from what we've seen. And the game is pretty. Had to mess with the controls because default controls are a no-no, which is very rare for me in games. Like, I usually just put up with controls, but like I said, overall liking it, and we shall wait to see in the full release in a month, if my thoughts stay the same.
Okay, we got a super chat from Night Fury. 10 euros? I don't even know what that is, but pounds. Good evening. Hope you guys are doing all right. When the night descends, this fury shall play. Currently wearing my Cold Steel shirt because you know I am Falcom's finest. Ah, man.
Oh boy.
Ah, man. He coming for that Falcom finest title, Riku, and you not even here to defend yourself.
Riku got like 2 people to fight for that title.
I know, right? Lord? Yo, they took that title and ran with it completely. Oh man, but it's cool. It's cool. We know in our hearts, Riku, you will always be Falcom's finest, kind of. So yeah, Sosuke, man, you want to talk a little bit about Arise? Tell us your thoughts on it.
So, first thing I gotta say about the demo, it was weird not having auto tracking towards an enemy when you went to hit someone. Like, I went into that thinking, oh, like, they'll have semi-auto on. No, this game is full manual. Like, for those of you who don't know about Tales, when it comes to that, semi-auto, your attacks will, like, you'll be guided towards the enemy when you go to swing. But with manual, you better walk up to them and hit them yourself. Otherwise, you're just gonna be sitting there swinging at air. So it was a little weird to get used to. I like Val, I wasn't feeling the default control scheme at first. That was very like Souls games have kind of ruined what people think action RPGs need to be like, because R1 as your default attack is a no-no.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 1 second. So okay, we got super chat from Ace Breaker, $5 super chat. No Fury. Your boy Ace is Falcom's true finest. Man,
oh
dude,
Lord,
that's just terrible.
we don't have to hold the Falcom's finest tournament. So
I know, right?
Riku said he deserves a cut of the super chat this time.
Hey man, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I didn't see that. So yeah, Sosuke, going with the R1 is a no.
Yeah, like myself, I switched the button to square because it doesn't play like a normal Tales of game where like you don't have a jump button. So I put square on my normal attack, X is my jump, and I went from there. And combat felt really good. The surface to air was different to actually like have arts that normally take you in there and then let you stay there and be able to like travel back and forth across the battlefield with. I wasn't ready for it, but I started to like it the more like I messed around with it. And I like all the characters. Now this is just me. I'm just saying. Technically, the best characters are Shion and Rinwell. I don't make the rules.
Oh man,
they feel insane. Like that demo made them feel like it was balanced around going, don't worry, these characters are broken. We'll use this as feedback for later.
Shion is super fun. You can like infinitely juggle enemies in the air easily with what you had in the demo.
Oh yeah, she was like, it was ridiculous. Just kind of just going, okay, I'm gonna shoot you a couple of times, and then these arts are gonna balance you for the next couple of minutes, and that'll be the rest of the fight. Also, anybody touch that giant demon boar?
Oh yeah, I fought him.
I wasn't ready for that to just be chilling out in the open in the demo. Like I beat it, but at the same time, I was like, that was the first encounter I died to, and the giant praying mantis was like an afterthought. I'm like, so why was the side boss of the demo? Why was that harder than the main one?
It's probably intentional. Don't want to turn people off at, oh, this is how the bosses are going to be super hard.
Yep, exactly.
I can understand that. But at the same time, it just threw me off. Like, I'm used to, like, demos going, okay, I'm going to challenge you just a little bit, but not enough to make you hate it. Unless your name is Monster Hunter. Oh, boy. But I like it. The characters, the way they interact is nice. I like looking at the skits in game from the demo. They don't feel like how I thought they were. Would be like, oh, it is pretty awkward seeing it. No, it's actually pretty nice. I like the cuts between the different emotions and the way the characters speak through them. And one of the skits is really funny. Just Law and Alphen going back and forth and breaking the campsite, and then freaking Kisara's like, okay, now you two have to clean this up. And I thought that was really funny. Like, Tales skits still have the spirit to them, and I like that. That's pretty much my thoughts on that for now.
Okay. So my thoughts on this demo overall, it's really good. First things first, it looks really good. This does look like, I want to say, a true quote-unquote next-gen Tales of game. Because I think Berseria was more made on, like, PS3 requirements and stuff like that. So this truly looks like a I guess a modern Tales experience, I guess you could say. A lot of people were complaining about the grass popping and some other graphical things. I didn't really mind those things for myself because while they were there, I'm not gonna have to worry about it when I play it on PC. So hashtag doesn't affect me. So that's my whole thing about it. But yeah, I feel like the colors are really good. There's a lot of particle effects going on in battle, from fire to lightning to just orbs going off, blue orbs just going off and everything like that. So much so, when I first played the demo, I almost couldn't keep track of my character and where they were and how do I dodge these enemies that that are attacking me, even though there's so much stuff on screen happening at once. I feel it's you guys know how I feel about 30 FPS and 60 FPS. I feel you're doing yourself a disservice if you play this game on I guess you could say previous gen platforms on a PS4 or Xbox One.
Now, to be fair, PS4 is 60 frames. It just dips in battle.
Yeah,
It is. I don't think.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
60
is.
frames.
I thought I saw like when I played it, I thought it was pretty much at 30 FPS, and then I saw like a technical video saying max was like 35 frames.
Whoa,
That's
that's
straight 60.
Okay.
It just drops in like hectic battles to like 30. give or
Oh,
take.
okay. See, well, don't limit yourself to that. Don't start dropping frames. Like if you got the capabilities, if you don't have a PS5 or a PC, then okay, yeah, you got no choice. But if you got the choice, you might as well just play on the higher frame rate. I feel that's the best thing. I mean, you don't absolutely need to, but I feel
at
like
least
you're
it isn't
probably
like at least it isn't like Tales of Exilio on PS3.
Tales of Exilio on PS3. See, I can't even remember. I can't even remember my time with Exilio.
Like, I love that game to death, but damn, that frame drop was. Ooh.
See, I wasn't
Let Mila and Elise go ham in battle casting spells. It'll take longer.
Jesus. See, I wasn't the frame rate junkie that I was back then on PS3 that I am now. So I really probably didn't even notice it. I was just like one of you common folk that are saying 30 FPS is just fine. Before I was awakening my eyes to higher frame rate and a higher plane of PC Master Race existence. But anyway, as far as the combat goes, very nice combat. I do like that everybody has like special actions that you have to utilize in battle. You know, like Kasara, she can bring in a shield to protect you from attacks, I believe. Law can break an enemy's armor that's like covered in armor, so you guys can attack them. Durlahim can like wrap up enemies in a vine to slow them down so you can hit them. It makes every party member seem like needed, because I know when I play Tales of games, I go with like the only four characters that I usually use in a party that worked. I kind of rarely experiment with other characters unless I'm on a New Game Plus playthrough, for the most part.
That way you can like go ham with all the extra stuff you unlocked before.
Exactly. So, you know, it's nice that everybody has a use in battle when you have different enemies in the in battle to fight. So you're not just using the same old four. You can switch them in when you need to, because that's what I really enjoyed about Scarlet Nexus. Even though you could only play as one character in Scarlet Nexus, it really felt like I was playing with everyone. And using everyone as I was playing the game, because you needed certain party members to fight certain enemies. So I feel like that's going to be the same case that happens in this game. I agree with you guys. The R1 button map placement for a regular attack was kind of weird at first, but as I played the demo more, I got used to it, and I want to say almost prefer it there, because I don't have to worry about I guess where my thumb moves to do a directional input for an arts attack. I can just press the square, triangle, or X button to do an arcs attack. It makes it I feel it makes it faster to do that input once I got used to it. And it's easy to chain together a whole bunch of combos and arts together. Speaking of which, this is a demo, so it really does showcase what the battle system is. Almost like, I don't want to say all the mechanics are unlocked in battle, because there are probably other mechanics that we haven't seen yet.
The only character in the demo who can go into Overlimit and uses Mystic Art is Alphen, meanwhile everyone else can't.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, I think I haven't seen anyone else use a Mystic Art, and I don't think they even showed you how to use a Mystic Art unless you looked in the tutorial help window. But yeah, and the thing about this demo is that they lock the skill grid for us, so you can't see what skills are unlocked. See, you know, in Tales games, there are like, I think they are core skills in most game, in that you equip onto your character, and they pretty much govern what you can almost do in combat. Like if you equip like Aerial Arts 1, you can do an arts in the air, or if you equip Aerial Arts 2, you can do 2 arts in the air. I don't know how much of that is already unlocked in the demo, and this demo seems to be somewhere mid game, or it could just be a different area in the game entirely. Maybe not this exact place in the game, or a completely just a completely different place in general. Maybe we can get to this area early, but we'll be at level 10 instead of level 25. I don't know. But a lot of things are unlocked for you early, so you could do all these combos very easily, very fast. And unfortunately, out the gate, you're not going to be able to do all these combos like crazy. Like, to just be able to launch an enemy into the air and use 3 aerial arts in a row, no problem. That's not going to happen when you get these characters going out the gate. You're going to have to build to that portion of the game. So I don't know what's going on there. I do like the fact that enemies have weak points and you can target them easily, and that brings, I guess, an extra layer of strategy. Yeah, especially when the characters come in, when you call on them to do their little special attacks. It's nice to have that little dynamic camera angle focused on them. And I think it's called boost strikes. When you're doing enough damage to an enemy and their HP is low enough, you can do a boost strike, and that will probably do a lot of damage or just end a normal enemy. So it's all pretty cool, and it all happens really fast, and it looks great. That's why I favor this game running at a higher frame rate, because it looks a lot more smoother, and the transition is done even more quickly, I think. But overall, is this game going to be that breakout success like Bionet mentioned? I don't think so. Honestly, guys, I think this game is just gonna come out. It's gonna do good in the reviews. Probably do like an average of 80 on Metacritic, and that's about it. I don't think this game is gonna push the needle for tales of hype or notoriety or anything like that. I don't think it's gonna be that special breakout success for Tales. And it's not to say it's gonna be a bad game. It's just gonna be an average game that comes out and everybody's gonna like it. It'll do probably just well enough to give us another Tales of game, more than likely. But
I have 2 questions for you guys. Someone also asked one of them in the chat earlier. Your thoughts on 1, the new way healing works, with the pool that you have to pull from, and 2, your thoughts on bosses no longer staggering.
So the CP that they're using now for healing, it's definitely different, and I'm not even sure why they changed it to be that way, but it seems to be, whatever to me. I guess they wanted to really focus on you doing attacks and using arts in combat, focusing more on combat and doing healing to a completely different, separate mechanic altogether, I guess. But it's kind of weird to do that. I don't know why they changed it. I don't even have a reason as to why they changed it to be that way.
Well, you still have healing arts because Shion heals, but like I think other people heal too, like Law can heal himself. Like they're still healing. I think they maybe just wanted to make it more difficult because especially with the AI, because the AI is not very good with healing in this game, and that was my main source of like difficulty.
Really? Okay.
I'd also speak from the whole like healing thing. I think CPU was probably implemented to mitigate the amount of time like fights are spent just having 2 people only heal, because of Berseria you only relied on SG, and SG could recover over time. And with how arts worked in that game that were casting based, the more you used it, the slower the charge time was. So most matches just were spent having freaking Lavi set just heal you consistently over and over and over again, almost to a point of like where his arts were damn near instant. So it kind of makes sense in the vein that like they want to give more urgency to, hey, you can't just spam healing all the time. You gotta do something else.
Okay. I guess.
I'm not a huge fan of that when it comes to like the systems that rely on CC, SG, things like that. Like I feel like it shouldn't be implemented like that, but it might be a step in the right direction for them to refine it in the next Tales game if they decide to keep this version of the battle system.
They definitely think they're keeping this. Like this is the game we're pretty much gonna get when it comes out in 2 weeks. So I don't think it's gonna change all that much. Even though this is from an earlier build, this is the game that we're getting. There's no way that you're gonna have a demo and then suddenly it's gonna suddenly play different.
Yeah, I'm not like in the future, well, if they keep this battle system for a future Tales of game, we'll probably get something. We'll probably get something similar to the CP system again, just a little bit more tweaked, so that it isn't just, yo, why am I running out of CP like every couple of minutes?
Yeah, like Bao, he said that like he had a problem with characters healing. I didn't really have that problem too much. Maybe when I first was playing the demo, but as I played more, I felt like Xion, whatever her name is, she was healing enough. And if she wasn't, I just didn't have the CP, so she wasn't using first aid. So I just made sure the CP was full at that point. I don't know. Maybe that was just me.
I barely got damaged because I spent most of my time in the back rows, Rinwell throwing spells out. The one time I did get damaged, right outside of battle, I just sapped some CP to do field healing and be fine.
It was mainly my allies that were like just losing HP. I was doing fine.
Oh, okay.
I also have to say, from what we've seen in the demo, the AI is worse than ever, which is sad. Like if you stand back and watch the AI, they have no idea what the hell they're doing.
I'd say it's almost as bad as like Grace's FAI. That was, ooh.
But I think there's you can customize the AI if you want. And
not a lot. Like you get like 4 options, was it?
No, I think there's a lot of options in the actual like if you choose to go.
You can set you can set their behavior, but just like watching them in combat, they're just terrible at it.
Interesting. I thought they were pretty much doing their job almost for the most part. I didn't think they were. I think they were terrible. Like maybe they could do more, but I think they were terrible. You know, like I felt like sometimes they did break the enemy when I needed it, or Durlahim, he came in and entangled the enemies. That was fast. I don't know. Maybe I gotta pay attention to it a little bit more. But I
we got a super chat from Ace Ricker. Thoughts on a Symphonia remake with Arise visuals?
Just like a straight remake, I'd want them to do a bit more, because Symphonia, compared to like the games today, has aged not as well. Of course, as it was the first 3D game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be down for like an actual Symphonia remake with the updated engine.
Same. If they were to use the Vesperia, like the Vesperia combat style, I'd like to see that with Symphonia.
Honestly, I love Symphonia. Like for the longest time, it was my favorite Tales of game until I played Tales of the Abyss, and I still think it's a good game. But like, I don't need to play Symphonia over again. I mean, like if they came out with a remake, then fine, I'll play it. But right now, I'd rather maybe take a Tales of Destiny remake at this point, because that's one I haven't played and one I'm trying to play, and I think it's pretty good. But yeah, any remake of a Tales game, I'm all for, you know.
And about bosses not staggering,
yeah,
it didn't really feel like that. Like I had the boar and the praying mantis get knocked over and stunned. Like they definitely were staggering during that. It just like they don't stagger. They don't have
it only
animation.
happens when they have those health bars. When you knock one down, they go down with that, and if you hit their weak point, other than that, they do not like react to what you do at all.
It does not feel like that.
Yeah, I didn't think it felt like that either. Like if you break it, like yeah, they will go down, they will stagger. If you break a bar or go, like get them down to a certain point in the HP part, they'll go down. But like, I kind of feel like, in a way, it makes sense because I feel like you will literally just spam them if you could just stagger them like crazy. You'll spam them, you'll juggle them in the air, and you'll just like be like, oh, there's no challenge, I could just do this. Bosses should like not be able to be like easily comboed and easily spammed.
I feel like the game that handled that like idea a little bit the best, to me at least, was Exilia, because the giant monster bosses really didn't get staggered. But, like, the actual human-level encounters, like the Chimeriad and Gaius and Noctigal, like, you actually could stagger them because those were made to be more, like, playable characters and less, like, big bosses. So it made a little more sense for that.
See, Exilia was actually my other least favorite boss system, because after a certain point, bosses would be programmed to just break out of your combo and counter you, and I hated that. Exilia 2 fixed it, sort of, but...
Yeah. And it's mostly because, like, I found out apparently you can theoretically you can juggle a boss infinitely in Exilia, but you have to make sure that they get hit by something the minute that blue exclamation point pops up. Otherwise, they're just going to fall out the combo, and that's going to be that.
Yeah, so I from what I've played, I really don't mind the bosses can't stagger for the most part. I think if they did, people would just be cheap about it and just like find a way to infinite combo or just keep them in the air. So I'm okay with it for now. Maybe when I get the full game, I'll start playing boss at the boss. Maybe it'll just be like, well, I can only hit him a little bit and run away. Can't really do much. I'll just hit him a little bit and run away. Maybe that's the case, but most bosses, especially for the bigger ones, probably like the bigger creatures, the bigger monsters, they'll probably have like weak points that you gotta target anyway. So we'll see what happens there. So let's see. Censorship. Apparently, there was some rumors going around that Tales of Arise would be censored. Some dude from 4chan gave out a list of censorship things that were gonna happen with Tales of Arise, and then a YouTuber did the basic thing. But when that 4chan person came out and said all that stuff, some websites started reporting on it that would be censored, and I guess it was probably only a matter of time before major websites reported it as well. But a YouTuber just went to their contacts at Bandai Namco and asked them a question, and Bandai Namco supposedly, like officially, quote unquote, I'll say, came out and said that no, Tales of Arise will not be censored across all platforms. For me personally, if it gets censored, I'm not gonna be surprised because of what's been going on nowadays, and especially since they were saying that the censorship was exclusive only to PS4 and PS5, basically the Sony platforms.
Of course.
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it was censored. It wouldn't surprise me in the least bit. I'm a little bit surprised because the way I feel about it is this. If you are a JRPG developer or a publisher or a social media account, I think you know the detriment of censorship, of censoring a JRPG. You know some people are going to be like, cancel my pre-order, not supporting it, I'm not going to play this game. Like, it's going to hinder sales. Maybe not hinder a lot of sales, but I would think for a JRPG, a niche JRPG, because I think Tales of is still niche, if anything, you need every single sale. So you would think the official accounts of Bandai Namco will come out and make the statement. Instead, it seems that if you email Bandai Namco about it, they'll just give you that response that no, it's not going to be censored across all platforms and whatnot. So I'm a little bit worried. Yes, I'm a little bit worried that the official social media accounts didn't say it. So it's a little bit weird. So it kind of gives to me that they're not confident if it's 100% not going to be censored, because I've been in this JRPG gaming streets and just gaming streets for a long time, and I've seen official sources from the companies, from the publishers, they say that the game's not going to be censored, and then all of a sudden day one there's a patch and the game is censored in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, in most cases it's usually just a game getting something super minor that you don't really think about.
Yeah.
Getting censored, and then out of nowhere, that's censored now. Why? Because it is.
Yeah, and it's weird. And then the latest thing when it comes to Tales of Arise censorship is that there's a collaboration costume with the Tucken character. I think it's Nia. I think that's her name. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, Nina. Okay.
Yeah.
Nina's outfit being censored, I won't lie, that's something that's been around since we were all pretty young. And even as a kid, I just remember going, I don't really like this. I look at it in Tekken 7 and I go, this outfit's still what's the point of having that one little space open? It's not sexy, that's for sure. But that's just how I feel about it.
But wouldn't that technically be a form of censorship? Because I can't remember the last time a Tales of game came out with a collaboration costume and it was different from what the character might have wore in the anime or something like that. I think they've all been the same, and then all of a sudden this one comes out, and
it's probably just because where the specific piece of censorship is taking place, because it is closer to her crotch, and that's a little. It's shouldn't really be exposing that, but at the same time, it's not like she's walking around without pants.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's one of those minor things where, like, that's kind of stupid, but at the same time, won't lose sleep over it.
Yeah, but there are some people out there who just like they don't like anything being censored at all, so they're gonna be upset about it. And like I said, I don't know if that's actually censorship, them changing the costume, because I'm not surprised that they changed the costume. To be honest, like it's like I would say it's blatant censorship. If who's that costume for? Is that for Shion or Rinwell?
Kisara.
Oh, so Kasara. So like if they did like a collaboration with, I don't know, SNK or King of Fighters, and Kasara got Mai's outfit, Mai Shiranori's outfit, and they put her in tights. You know how Mai is exposing a lot of skin, and they put
You could definitely call that censorship.
That's censorship. Wouldn't it be censorship and not like really changing the outfit to fit the game? Like, no, that's censorship for the most part. So
yeah.
I know Mai. That's probably not the best example because Mai is exposing a lot of skin, and Nia's outfit is only showing some skin in some areas. But the fact that they changed it and didn't make it completely 1-for-1, I would say the argument can be made that it was censored. The argument can be made. It may not be what it is, but I said the argument can be made if you want.
Yeah.
But I'm be playing this on PC, so hashtag doesn't affect me because, like I said, the PS4 and PS5 versions were only ones that got worked.
According to Joseph, yeah, but those rumors were insane for the 4chan leak. Scenes being removed, not allowing girls to be hit by enemies, gender doors being censored. Gender doors? Like for the bathroom?
That sounds all ridiculous.
That's
weird. Even in the modern day, I don't think that would... Like, I can understand some people being bothered by it, like, if they are trans, but at the same time, I don't think that's something they'll, like, hyper-fixate on in the game, because the game isn't, like, doesn't have a mechanic where you have to go to the bathroom with the characters. That's just... That's weird to... Why would that even be... Oh, my head. Just thinking about that. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people in chat don't believe the 4chan leaker. 4chan leaker was brain dead. B says, I wouldn't call it censorship. It's not a government limiting free speech. It's a company's decision on their product. I guess that's one way to look at it. But I don't know if censorship, if you guys in the chat, is going to keep you guys from buying the game, or maybe you'll be upset if the game does come out and get censored. Me, I'm just going to play the game. I'm not going to be happy about it. But I'm still gonna play the game regardless, to be honest. It would suck if it happens. Hey, it is what it is. And what's crazy is, it could come out day one and not be censored, and then like 2 weeks later, there's a patch that completely just.
Oh yeah, we mistextured that here.
Yeah.
Like, no lie, I'm gonna try and get the like special edition that comes with all the costumes.
Oh yeah, me too.
I'm not putting Kisara and Nina's outfit. Like, I never liked Nina's outfit to begin with, so...
Yeah, I would much rather them give her, like, I don't know, who's a good Tucker character? Like, Lily? Lily's outfit?
Asuka,
yeah.
Like, all the other girls, but I get why they gave her Nina's costume, because, like, they're both blonde. They're both extremely dangerous women to a certain degree in combat, so that makes sense.
That's true, yeah. I just wouldn't want anybody else, to be honest, on that collab. But, PC Master Race, some mods will probably, fix that.
True.
Honestly, I feel like I want to get this game, like a month later so I can play with all the PC mods. Because that's kind of like how I felt when I was playing Atelier Ryza. The game came out, and, there were no mods at first because they got to get in there, figure out what files is what. And then, like, a couple of weeks later to a month, then the mods started rolling in. But, yeah, I gotta cover the game, so that's not an option for me.
Well, alright, let me just use my personal footage. Oh. Can't do that.
Because the mods in Berseria were pretty cool. You got to change Velvet's hair, you got to change her hairstyle, you got to change her outfits. It was pretty cool doing the mods in Tales of Berseria.
I need to look into the mods for Tales of Berseria myself.
Yeah, it's a lot of like cosmetic mods that you can do. Like, you would think that's also one of the things that I wonder about when it comes to like customization in Tales of Tales of games nowadays, they like, I don't want to say they do bare minimum. It is nice that you can put some accessories and some attachments, I guess, on them. But like the mods be doing like some crazy things. It's just like changing the hairstyles. Like I feel like there could be more being done here, but I don't know, man. I don't know why they don't want to get crazy when it comes to customization anymore.
Probably because like the character, like everything about the character still has to fit a specific framework. I can only guess. Because I look at like other games that allow you to customize your characters and stuff, and then you're like, well, shit, this looks incredible. When you look at Tales of, yeah, that's good, but not the best, if that makes any sense.
No, that definitely does make sense.
Because like the only other game I could say where like costumes super stuck out to me at least were like Exilia, with like you had options, like you had costumes options on top of like how you could move accessories and things could work.
Oh yeah, you're right. And you could adjust how big they were too.
Yeah, like, and then you go from like Exilia to Zestiria, and you're like, wow, these options are kind of
Yeah, limited. Like it's weird, man. It's
like
weird.
Like that period between Grace's F and Zestiria, Exilia 1 and Exilia 2, like the costume options were great. You had unlockable costumes in game again, not a lot of them, but they were there. The accessories were really good. Like it all looked nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna need if any other game coming out going forward, they need to have that Cold Vein customization.
Oh yeah, like I need to play Code Vein on PC myself, purely to see like what the cosmetic mods for that are, because the base cosmetics in that game are really good. So to see what someone who goes the extra mile can do, shit, I'd pay for it if I could. And we got a super chat from Chris Wench. I still think custom dungeon mods and JRPGs is super slept on in the community. Like that's a thing.
Like custom, like dungeon, like making completely new dungeons, or like fixing or like adding stuff to existing dungeons. Cause that'd be crazy if you can make a whole all new dungeon in a JRPG. That's gotta be a lot of work.
Skyrim, like, it's not a JRPG, of course, but people in Skyrim have remade the entire game from like. I don't just mean like the same content. I mean like they've taken the engine and made their entire own original game that you can play in addition to Skyrim already. It's insane.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, there's some stuff that you could do. I think Witcher 3 also did something like that. Like somebody made a completely different like side quest or something like that, and they completely voice acted it, which is insane because like there's like a website you can go to, and like all the words from Geralt are all like voice acted. You can string them all together. I'm like, how much time did you spend to do all that? That's insane.
Yeah, people like spend years on these mods. They're dedicated.
They're really like, how much time do you have on your on your docket? Like, how dedicated do you have to be? I respect it, but man, I can't do that. I couldn't even make my own RPG Maker game. So shout out to you guys. I can sit there and make mods for games.
Y'all are built different.
Y'all really are built different. Goddamn. People in the chat, you guys here. Final Metacritic scores for Tales of Arise. What do you guys think, Sosuke Bob?
I guess I'll just go with a plain old 80.
I'd say 80 at the lowest, 85 the highest.
Yeah, I'm going in the 80 range. It might even creep down to 79. We'll see what happens. I can't imagine it going down that, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did based on the number of reviews. But it looks like people in the chat, we got 81, 89, 80, 84. It seems that 80s is pretty much the common. Mid 80s, low 70s. Low 70. Jesus.
Oh, I love that. Let's just brought something up in my head.
So let me ask you guys a question before we move on to the topic. Why? Why is this game? What do you guys think Tales of can do to break out of that? Maybe be guaranteed high 80s, 80, 89, maybe a borderline 90. What does the Tales series need to do to get to that point?
I'd say for one, make the stories like must see again. Berseria was good, but I do feel like the peak of storytelling in the series was Abyss, and that was of course back on the PS2, and people still rave about that to this day. That's just one thing. The combat, of course, is good, as we talked about. The graphics are good. I just think the Tales series is missing that something special that like truly hooks people instead of just being a good RPG.
Yeah, like there was a magic about the older games that truly drew people in, while Symphonia and Abyss, like I beat Abyss like more recently in my life, and I look back at it like, damn, this is a lot better made than most JRPGs nowadays. Why can't we get more stuff like this?
So
And then you have more but you have more of them trying to tell the stories on top of also going, but look, it's all spectacle. And then when you get to like specific areas, you're like, wow, this is it.
we got a super chat from Backbone Slug. Romance. Add some romance and we chillin'.
Well, funny you say that because Tales of Hearts R had quite a bit of that, and it was okay.
That's probably because of the platform it was on.
It was pretty cute. It's a nice little wholesome romance story.
So I'm looking on Metacritic right now, and I see Persona 5 Royal is sitting at 95. So what does Persona 5? What does Persona 5 Royal have that Tales of games need to incorporate? What is it?
Funny
social
you
links?
mentioned that because I was thinking in my head, it's like, what does Persona like Persona 5 have that makes like a cult classic now that Tales could draw from?
Yeah. Like I have no idea. Like it's got like Tales of got great visuals. It's got great combat. Like does it need to add social links? Maybe he's right. Maybe it needs to add a romance. I don't know.
The music could be actually, you know what? Like, well, music, but maybe they do need to change the formula up a bit.
That's what I swear.
Maybe a Tales of game in the actual modern day.
Like Final Fantasy 15, like have some modern day stuff. Like, is that what you're saying, or
I feel like
More like
Persona?
yeah, like literally, like probably like modern day Tokyo or like somewhere else in the world.
Okay.
honestly, that makes me think of like Trails, kind of.
Makes you think of Tokyo Xanadu.
Yeah,
Because Xanadu built with better combat.
Falcom kind of does that, just not combat wise.
Super chat.
Until Curl comes out, I guess.
Super chat from Chris Welsh, 199. Better dungeons and not linear hallways.
Yes.
I can see that. That wouldn't make it like be on the level of Persona though. But yes, that would be nice.
I will say I think Bao, you brought up better music. I think the music. I'm not saying the music in Tales of games aren't like good, but I gotta say they're
like
not
a hardcore fan to like pick out tracks by ear.
Yeah.
If I played you like any field theme from a Tales game, you could probably not name where it's from because they all sound kind of the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're not bad. It's just not. They're nowhere near as memorable as a Persona game, unfortunately.
Backbone Slug said, throw them in high school.
Throw them in high school. Could that be the key? Is that the key from getting the game from the low 80s to the high 90s? Is high school it?
I would like to see a Tales game done in like a modern setting like that, like a school.
Yeah. I mean, some people might get mad and say this isn't what I wanted. We want more gritty adult stories, as they then proceed to buy like 9 copies of that game.
Like you kind of don't need to do medieval magic for Tales, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, like I think like the closest thing we got to a modern day was Exilia.
Yeah. Exilia 2 is very like modern-ish, and I liked that actually. It was different.
Like
But,
every time
but they
you
could
went back
take
to
it a step further.
Yeah. Because every time you went back to Luca's apartment, like you got like to look around.
That's
Man's
true.
had flat screen TV and like a nice stereo system to go with. Like it looked like it was in the modern day. It felt now, if that makes any sense.
That's
It
true.
does.
But what people say, but you think it will be like fan backlash, and people say this isn't the Tales I know. This is some type of Persona game.
Well,
What's
the
going
Tales
on
you know
here?
has been faltering for years, so let's try something.
Sometimes you gotta break out.
That's what I felt this game was going to do, especially with the combat. Like I thought the combat was going to be like free roaming, and you're not going to have to transition to a battle arena. I honestly think that was their plan from the beginning, and then somewhere along the line it just changed.
They looked back at Cesaria and said, okay. Like the world needs to accommodate, like the design structure of the world needs to accommodate for that, which Cesaria did not do very well.
Yeah, it would be a really tough thing to do to get a Tales of game to be free roaming, because you gotta take into account at least 4 party members at the same time, unless you're only gonna play as one one character throughout the whole game, which I know they probably thought of, and they just said, or two, and they said this is not a Tales of game anymore, or something like that. Well, sometimes I think we've had this discussion. The fan base needs to just accept that a series needs to do some drastic changes in order to break out more, to spread its wings a little bit more. Sure, we might lose that classic nostalgia of it's not this game anymore, it's not this series anymore, but companies are always trying to reach out, and just sticking to what works and sticking to what we know, it doesn't really help the series as a whole. They have to sometimes do things that it's going to be different, something that you're not going to be comfortable with, and maybe just you gotta like have your eyes open or have your mind open to the chance that maybe, okay, it's not how it's not how normal Tales of game looked, but you know, it's just one entry. We'll see what happens. There is like a double-edged sword to that, of course. Like you might suddenly get like Valkyria Revolution or something like that, but
I do think change is worth trying. Like, look at Disgaea 6. They didn't nail it, but they know that Disgaea series was kind of the same for so long, and they tried something new, and I respect them for that, even if they didn't hit the mark. And then you look at maybe the biggest example, Persona. Look at Persona 2 to Persona 3. Like, old school Persona fans were outraged at what Persona 3 was, but look at what it's become. It was well worth it.
Yeah, and funny thing you mentioned is, like, even now, there are, like, a lot of Persona fans, I'd say younger ones, like 15 to 16, who, like, come into Persona. They play the modern games and go, oh, this is such modern weeb garbage. And then they turn around and play the older games and go, wow, this is the pinnacle. Why didn't the series stay like this? And I sit there and think, well, with good reason, they had to try and change it up. They had to make sure the game didn't stagnate and get stale, because they're just going to stay like Persona 1, and I don't think anybody wants to play a first-person dungeon crawler with, like, 90 hours worth of just walking around and bumping into walls.
Exactly, and it's one of the reasons the Trails of games have changed up. They Choro no Kizuki, or it doesn't have an official title, but that new game is gonna be like almost like free roaming combat / like turn-based combat as well, because they know they're trying to do something different and not be the same as they always been, because you gotta change almost to survive. Super chat from Backbone Slug, $9.99 super chats. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Leave in the after battle skits, the character 2D models for menus. Make the bottom right skit button bigger so I know there's a skit that needs to be seen. I barely even noticed that button was there. Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. When I first played the demo, I didn't even know there were skits going on, and then like towards the end, I activated a bunch of skits at once.
The only reason I knew is because, again, I'm a Tales of fan, so like I go in expecting to see that, but like I can get why if someone who's not a hardcore Tales of fan, they'll look for it and be like, wait, I see people getting all these cutscenes. Wait, what do you mean I gotta press the select button? Where? Why is that so tiny?
Yeah, and I get the feeling a lot of people who are playing Tales of Arise for the first time, they're going to be newcomers to the series, and they're not going to know why things work like this. Like, I did see one person's impressions of Tales of Arise, and they were just being like, oh, these skits are weird. Like, I've never seen anything like this in the game before, and the transition into battle was weird. I'm like, bro, have you played a Tales of game? Have you played a JRPG ever in your life? But that's the people that Bandai Namco is trying to get. They're trying to get those newcomers in there.
I saw a video by a YouTuber by the name of Globku, and the way he was talking, like, he was very confused, like, why skits got all the voice lines, and then like those like dialogue segments with just a random NPC didn't get any lines.
I gotta admit that is weird.
It is
outside looking in. That's weird.
Like outside looking in, it is weird. Like because I think about like Fire Emblem Three Houses, which had like a lot of voice dialogue, just even with random NPCs on top of the support conversations having all that voice dialogue. Tales of probably doesn't have that kind of budget to always voice everything, but at the same time, I feel like they could do a little bit more with that and try to like draw people into like give more of the world life.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, it does make sense, but yeah, Tales of games looks like they're forever going to be in that 80 range, never reaching that Persona 5 level. And well, if you guys for the series, if you guys want some change, you got to be open to it.
I'm ready for change, so long as it doesn't. What's like a good comparison to be like this was a bad idea?
Like Valkyrie Revolution, that was a bad idea. They tried to.
I would watch a friend play that and just hearing him go, I really don't enjoy this.
But yeah, see that's a perfect example. Valkyrie Chronicles is a perfect example. They went to Valkyrie Revolution to change things up, maybe experiment, and then Valkyrie Chronicles 4 comes out. Yeah, it's great. It's the Valkyrie Chronicles we all know and love. It's Valkyrie Chronicles 1. But it didn't push the series forward in any meaningful direction at all. It didn't even like get too many people who are new to Valkyrie Chronicles to play it. And people like me, veterans of the series, we just pretty much decided that like this game, it's good, but it's just like Valkyrie Chronicles 1. It doesn't do anything.
So, it just kind of exists.
Yeah, it just exists. Yeah, exactly. It just exists. I'm not saying Valkyrie Chronicles 4 is bad.
To a long-time fan, it's like to a long-time fan, it's like, oh, that's neat. But to a newcomer, it's like, that's it?
Yeah, it's just like, it's an example of if you don't change, you're just going to come out and be the same. And right now, I don't even know if there's ever going to be another Valkyrie Chronicles game. I'd be surprised if there was one. But, hey, it is what it is. Maybe Sega one day will find the time, the budget to do maybe a remake of 3, because that's still the best one in the series. But yeah, the fan base, you got to sometimes just be open to change sometimes. Alright. So we good with Tales of Arise, people. Low 80s, good demo. It'll come out and it'll sell.
Yep.
Speaking of which, like I don't mean to prolong the Tales of talk, but what do you think this game? Like, you think it's gonna do good sales wise? Because it's releasing worldwide, so I'm thinking in like a couple of months, maybe a mil after maybe 6 months.
Yeah, mil after 8. I don't see a mil after 6 months.
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
I want to get my hopes up and think it'll do like better than that, but I really don't know.
So yeah, 500K probably from Rikuki. Yeah, it's crazy. All right, so yeah, guys, Tales of Arise. I don't want to see anything more on Tales of Arise anymore. I'm good. I played the demo. I played it enough. I just want the game at this point, and I'll play it then. And I'll pay the $100 for the collector's edition so I can get all the costumes.
So all those costumes will be worth it when you get it on PC. You can just mod the costumes back in and act like nothing ever happened.
That is true. I didn't think about that. All right, let's move on to a different topic. And shout out to the people watching right now. We really appreciate you guys being here. It's only 3 of us here, but we making it work somehow, some way. We, as always, ask if you could do us the biggest kindness that you could do for the channel, for all of us. Hit that like button. That'd be great. Let's move on to our next topic. Let's talk about Pokemon. Pokemon got a big update, I believe. A whole Pokemon Direct? Or was it a Pokemon Direct? Or was it like something else?
Longest Pokemon Direct ever.
Longest Pokemon Direct ever. Okay. So, mostly for the most part, we got, I don't know if you guys want to discuss like everything that was announced there. I'm pretty sure we just want to talk about Arceus and the Diamond Pearl remakes for the most part.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about the other stuff.
Yeah, I don't think we need to talk about the other stuff. So, I guess we could start out with the Diamond Pearl remix, I guess.
Yeah,
sounds good.
So for the Diamond Pearl remix, I didn't even notice until Blake actually pointed out in our group chat that they actually did improve on the visuals. So I would say the visuals are definitely better than what we saw when we first saw a couple of months back. But I still feel this style is just so weird for this.
I agree.
Like
they tried to keep those 2D sprites, like the feel of it, but it does not translate well to chibi 3D models, in my opinion. They just look off to me.
Yeah,
it feels like they tried to appeal to a specific group of like people who played the games back then, like someone like me who literally grew up playing that, and then looking back at it and going, "Oh, that's cool," but I look at it and go, "Oh, it's a little weird." All right.
Like, honestly, I think in battle it looks fine. It's just the overworld just looks like I'll say it's like straight up. I think the overworld in Black and White 2 look better than this. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, that's I don't know why they went with this style. I feel like the style was to pretty much save money. Maybe I'm not sure, but like it's like I told you guys in the chat. I don't know why the Pokemon games act like they got the budget of a niche JRPG.
It's like I said in the chat, Shadow. They do it because they know people will buy it.
Yeah,
regardless
they can get away
of how
with it.
we feel. Regardless of like how people like us who are critical of it feel, there are others just en masse who will still purchase it regardless of like what we think. They'll be like, oh man, but it's Pokemon. It's gonna be good. Are you sure?
And we saw this with Sword and Shield, biggest backlash in Pokemon history, still sold like hotcakes.
16 million. Like I enjoyed Sword and Shield. I thought it was a good. It was a decent JRPG and it was a decent Pokemon game. I don't hate it like a lot of other people do, and I don't think it's the best Pokemon step forward like I've seen some wacky people say, but it still felt like it could have did more.
Like people, like every time I be on my Twitter feed, there is always like I'll say maybe like once every like 2 months. There's always some concept of a Pokemon game up, and it looks amazing. It looks like Breath of the Wild, like literally like graphics wise. I know that's what Arceus is supposed to be, but it looks like Breath of the Wild, and it looks amazing. But when they suddenly come out with this Diamond Pearl remake, thinking it look chibi, everybody's okay with it. When you really know you want that Breath of the Wild type look. You know,
like they know what they want, but they know what they'll get. Like
yeah, they know what they're getting. They know what they'll accept.
Like they no longer have expectations because it's just like, well, shit. Expectations are just gonna disappoint me.
Super chat from Rico Key 2. $5 super chat. Know how it looks. People will buy no matter what. Boycott sales.
No matter how it looks, people are gonna buy it.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate. That's where we're at, you know?
It's funny, I still hear people saying, I'm gonna boycott this. And then I see footage of them, like I see them uploading this footage from their Nintendo Switch, like, hey bro, where you get that? I thought you said you were boycotting that. What happened?
Yeah, so like I got it up on screen like now, a little picture of what Diamond Pearl looks like into what fan-made games try to look like. And you know, there's more detail in the fan-made games. It's sure they're concepts and whatnot, but we gotta know that Game Freak or whoever's in charge of these Pokemon games can make it look like the fan-made, like, you know, games that they try to create.
DJ King in the chat said they keep saying faithful remake. Sure, it's a faithful remake, but you gotta remember, just because it looked good in 2D does not mean it'll look good in 3D. And also in the modern day, we expect more from remakes of just, well, more than just one for one. Like, if you're going to remake a game, don't take away from what made it good, but add more to it. From what we've seen, it's just a one for one remake with an ugly art style.
Look at Capcom with Resident Evil 2 and 3. Those were technically remakes, yes, but they still added more to it and felt like there was more going on.
And it's Pokemon, the highest selling game franchise in history. You can put more effort into these games. Like, give yourself like an extra year of development and let's see what happens. Because they pump these games out almost like yearly because, I don't know, they just feel like they need to. I heard like sometimes they have to like align the anime with the games. I know it's like whole complicated, but still.
Yeah, exactly. Like they have time constraints and stuff like that. Which, okay, I guess I get, but the anime lasts for like how many years or something like that, and they're like not always where like Ash is starting a new adventure. He's going to a new region, and then the new game is coming out. I think the anime is behind or something like that. So I don't get why they act like they got like real time constraints. And even if you do, you have the money to hire people to like, you know, make more, to do better, and to have more detail into your game. So it's like
they technically do have all the time, money, and resources for this. They just don't put it into it because they know they could shove out things for mobile games, toys, cards, things for the anime, and still make bank. And it feels like some time ago they realized that and stopped pouring all that effort in. Because they realized, shit, why put maximum effort in when we can just put in the bare minimum and still make the same amount.
Yeah, that is true. Like from a business standpoint, yeah, you can do the bare minimum, and you could still get maximum amount of sales. Like, what business is gonna say no to that type of strategy unless they're really passionate about their products? It just sucks that it has to be that way for these Pokemon games, because I know they could look better. I know they could be everything these fan concept trailers and pictures put up, but they just choose not to. It's jarring to me. I know. I guess I don't want to mention Blake when he's not here. He loves. I guess he loves Diamond and Pearl. They're very nostalgic for him and stuff like that. But
yeah, he was a kid when he came out, so
yeah. But like what I find weird about that is like me and Blake are relatively close in age. It's just as I got older, I stopped letting nostalgia guide me in terms of like what I accept. If we got a Sonic Adventure remake right now, and it was literally just the same game but in HD, I'd be a little upset because that means they looked at it and said, whatever. Better textures, same controls, same jank, we'll leave it alone. Who's gonna stop us?
We also have a super chat from Chris Weech for $4.99. He said, add more skills in 4 with stat customization. I'm in. I want to at least compete with Pokemon that have my weakness if I'm being a smarter trainer. I'm assuming you mean other trainers. So like basically you just want more of a challenge and more revamp.
See, here's the thing. I would love more of a challenge, more revamp. God, I can't talk. More skills being added and more strategy. But the thing about it is, Pokemon is like a casual type of thing. So the more complicated you make it, the more like casuals will probably move away from it. That's what they're probably afraid of. That's probably won't even happen, but it's probably what they're afraid of.
It's funny because Pokemon's actual like meta game that the fan base more or less made for themselves is one of the most like numerically complex competitive games out there.
Like, you need to be on top of that from like the minute the new game comes out. You need to be on top of that you need to plan ahead and know what you're going to be breeding, how EVs and IVs are going to be looking for specific Pokemon, and a bunch of other shit. Yep. Yeah, natures. You're going to be needing to look into a lot.
It's great, but I guess they don't. I can understand Nintendo's and gameplay point is not to make the main Pokemon games that complicated, I guess. But like, if we choose to, and like you do in the post game, and you want to go deeper with it, you know, maybe add some new stuff to it. I guess, you know, give a choice.
It's like it's fine to do. It's fine to give other people choice because you could still sell to the casual fan base while also letting your hardcore fans know, hey, there's something there for you too.
It's weird how they do this. It's weird how they decide to go about it. Like Bao says, the highest grossing franchise on the planet, and they can do the bare minimum and just get away with it.
It feels like, to me, Pokemon for a while has become the Call of Duty of JRPGs. I know it's gonna sound like heretical, but a lot of people need to hear it. Call of Duty does put out the bare minimum and get away with it, and nobody says anything.
Those people buy it.
Yup, and Pokemon's doing the same thing, and a lot of people are just like, well, shit. That is the case.
Yep. And they'll keep doing it for as long as they can, I guess, get away with it.
Yep.
No, it's funny. I often play, well, not anymore, usually, but I used to play a bunch of Pokemon, like, fan games. And most of them, honestly, kind of put the main series to shame with what, like, these fan creators can do and implement. More challenge, better mechanics, more Pokemon included. It's just kind of interesting seeing what like fans can do with the same like assets in a short amount of time.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like I'm playing a fan-made Pokemon game off and on. It's a mod of the original Gen 1 games. It's called Pokemon Blue Kaizo. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, that game is so hard. That game is ridiculous. Like it's not just hard, but it's also annoying as hell. Like they didn't even have to make it so needlessly annoying. But like there are literally Pokemon like if you run into a Voltorb or Electrode, You might as well just run, because all they're gonna do is self-destruct. Their point is to not like defeat you. It's just to hinder your progress and to annoy the crap out of you. God, that game is just ridiculous. Like, I wonder how people play it, because it's so crazy. But and it's made with the mechanics of Gen 1 Pokemon in mind, and they're also abusing the mechanics. But a harder Pokemon game is, of course, like within reach. But it's a casual franchise, so they're not gonna ever make it that hard. And still add some difficulty levels to it. I don't know why, and make them hidden. Like only the hardcore players would know. Maybe to check the TV 3 times in your house to change the difficulty to hard. I don't know. Like you could do something like that. But yeah, Diamond Pearl Remix. They look like bare minimum effort. They're gonna sell. Somehow, some way, they're gonna make it into my Switch. I don't know how, but they are. Probably gonna take out my credit card and just buy it. I don't know. It's gonna happen.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna wait until like probably a little in the next year to get it, because there's too many other better JRPGs coming out this year. Like, I'm sorry, SMT5 is coming out.
That's true.
And I still haven't played Neo of the World. Those games are higher priority than Pokemon right now.
I think we need to also address the fact that Pokemon went up in price when they moved to Switch, $20 more, and then decrease in quality, which I really don't like.
That is terrible.
It's okay. So let's talk about Arceus. New gameplay for Arceus showed up. Hopefully I can get the gameplay on screen. But what do you guys think about Arceus and the new gameplay and how it looks?
I want an innovation. They're trying something new. Aside from the horrific looking textures and areas, I am on board. I am very interested.
Funny you mentioned the textures, because I played a game with textures I thought looked like before actually watching the trailer. I played a little Sonic fan game from Sonic Amateur Game Expo, and I thought, oh, these textures look a little rough. And then I saw the trailer for that, and I was like, maybe I was a little too mean about that. Like, I looked at Arceus and said, it's a Sonic Amateur game. It's trying. But, ooh. Yeah, that's my thoughts on just the visuals for now.
I think it looks pretty good for the most part. Well, not good. The only thing that I think looks good about it for the most part is the fact that they're adding like a different mechanic to combat for the most part. I think.
Like they're like adding multiple new ones, really.
Yeah, they're adding like what are multiple ones? I know they're adding like styles and stuff like that.
Yeah, the styles. You yourself can fight the Pokemon now, which is hilarious.
It's because you're a ninja, so like I'm trying to see like how does that work?
Like you can just straight up sneak up on Pokemon now and throw balls at them instead of like immediately getting into combat, which I like. Like it adds more to the immersion of what Pokemon should be. You know, like you see the anime like Ash like sneaking up on the Pokemon or whatever. Like you can actually do that now. Like you said, the styles. I'm trying to remember what else we saw.
The way world traversal works.
But it's more than what we've had in the past however many years in mainline Pokemon, so I'm glad.
The Hisuian variants of specific Pokemon.
Yes, those all look amazing so far.
Yeah, these variants, they're getting away with these variants and not having new Pokemon. So they can just get variants in there and just say, oh, it's new Pokemon, because technically it is. As far as how the game looks, it looks terrible. Like it just looks terrible. I was like, yeah, what is going on here from Pokemon? Like again with the budget reasons and it's not even an art style at this point. You just don't put in enough effort and detail. Like Super Mario Bros. Look good. What was that new Super Mario game called? I forgot. Like the Galaxy, not Galaxy. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, the golf game?
Not the golf game. Like the
one that just came out, he means.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
There's a new one that came out.
The re-release from Wii U.
Oh, right. New Super Mario World U.
Yeah, like those games look good. We all know Breath of the Wild looks good, but this one, it's like I keep saying, like I'm gonna keep coming back to it. It's like they got the budget of a niche JRPG. Like why?
Kind of like watching this trailer now on the stream. What gets me is that the Pokemon models themselves look infinitely more better than their surroundings, and it's very distracting to me.
Yeah, it's like it's jarring.
Like they have this visual pop to them that it's just like, what the hell
they look
is
out
going
of
on?
place almost, and it's distracting.
It's terrible, and then people I guess people really don't care about graphics at the end of the day. They don't care about frame rate. They don't care about any of that stuff. As long as it's Pokemon, it's something they want to play. They'll get it and they'll feed into it. I guess.
I feel like I joke saying that graphics don't fucking matter. I feel like graphics do matter when it's like a game like this where you're supposed to be taking in the world, you're supposed to be looking around, exploring it. If it's ugly, I don't think I want to be there anymore. Like that goes with like the art style's fine, but that doesn't make the actual setting look good.
Exactly.
Riku 2 said it's gonna sell 20 million plus, and I'm mad that you're right.
It probably will, yeah.
Like I'm mad he's right. Like oh god.
And you know, I'm happy that the Pokemon games are like changing up the formula. This ain't 8 badges or anything like that. It's more like a to discover all the Pokemon in the Sinnoh region. Like I commend them for doing the change. Like we were just talking about change earlier. I commend them for making a change and making an effort to do something different. It's
Sorry, I'm just looking at this trailer again, and not even just the environment, like the side characters. Like, what are your textures? What is this? Is this a game in 2021 from one of the highest grossing companies? Like, Jesus Christ.
Like, people gave Breath of the Wild shit for looking a little weird at times, but this looks like I've seen Breath of the Wild on Wii U, and it low-key looked better than this.
And I'm a massive Pokemon fan, mind you, so it's like pisses me off extra with what I know the series can be.
It's sad. It's just it's crazy. They're just gonna do whatever they want at the end of the day.
Graphics show how much devs care about the game. You could tell they're barely trying. Yeah, Chris Reach has a point.
That's a good point. That's a real good point. Unfortunately. But like like we've seen other Switch games look great, but for some reason they can just chuck this out and just like everything's okay.
The game I was just playing, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, that was ported from the 3DS. It literally is just an upscale 3DS game, but a lot of the textures in that on walls, grass, even some of the monsters look a lot better than what's going on in just the world for this.
It's amazing because
it's a 3DS game.
If any other game came out looking like this, having this much of a lack of textures, having this much of a lack of good lighting, they get crucified. But Pokemon's gonna get the pass, and I don't even know why Pokemon gets the pass, because you will literally say that if a JRPG has bad graphics like this, well, it's a budget game. What do you expect from a budget JRPG?
But this is Pokemon, so it's not. Like, you know what's funny? People gave SMT5 like there's some people saying, nah, SMT5 looks like a PS2 game. It's ass. It looks like garbage. And I'm sitting there like, really? What PS2 did you have? Where can I get that? Because this is gorgeous. And then I look at this going, shit, I don't want to be those guys, but this game looks rough.
I don't get it. And I don't think I'll ever get it. Just Pokemon is going to Pokemon at this point. Fans are going to love it. Fans are going to buy it. They're going to eat into it. They're going to eat it up. They're going to spend hours upon hours on it. And like what was already said, it's going to sell 20 million copies. So it is what it is. Can't even make an argument about it for it. It'll never Pokemon, like a mainline Pokemon game, would never come out and underperform. Like it could literally be in black and white. And people would be like, "Oh, it's in black and white because, you know,
stylistic choice. It looks good like
yeah."
that.
I think even the lowest selling generation, which I want to say was 5 or 6, even still did like multi-million sales. So yeah,
you're just sitting there like, well, shit, this is alarming.
It's unfortunate. But I think Sosuke, you already said that that this is not a priority for you. What about you, Bao? You getting the remakes, or you getting Arceus day one?
Arceus will be day one just because they're changing things up. The remakes, I'm truly on the fence about because I love Gen 4. It's contender for my favorite generation, but when I look at that trailer, sure, that excitement is still there, like in the back of my mind. But I don't get that urge of like I need this day one, which is a shame for me because like Pokemon used to be like the epitome of a day one game for me. And plus, like SMT5 comes out like a week before that, so I don't know.
Bao, let me ask you a question. I know you played it. Does Snap, new Pokemon Snap, look better than this?
Oh, have you not seen Snap? It's like gorgeous,
Oh
phenomenal.
my
looking.
god! So what? What?
I've only seen Snap through VTubers playing, and I sit there like, this is...
Like, it actually looks beautiful, beautiful.
Why? So why can't this game look like Snap?
Because
What's the issue?
Because Snap is supposed to be a game where you take pictures. I can't
guess,
use that
'cause
excuse.
Snap should look pretty because you're taking pictures. I guess.
At the same
It does
time,
make sense, unfortunately.
it looks like they poured all the visual budget into that to make up for the fact that you're just taking pictures, which is like, yeah, I don't think a picture game needs to have like the best mechanics on the planet. You point and click. That's about it.
I'll never understand Pokemon. I just won't. As for me, like I said, the Diamond and Pearl remakes might end up in my Switch somehow, some way. I don't know what Future Brand's gonna do, how he's gonna justify buying it, but he probably will. I mean, Future Shadow. That's not my name. As for Arceus, I don't think I'm gonna get Arceus. I think I'm gonna chill on Arceus for the most part and just let it go. I'll probably buy into the hype. Like, I'll probably see a whole bunch of people streaming Arceus, and I'll just like look at it and be like, okay, I'll probably buy it. Kind of like how I did Smash Bros. But yeah, this can kick rocks.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, let's predict Metacritic scores. A Diamond and Pearl remix. What y'all think in Metacritic?
Probably 80.
User scored. I don't want to sit here and say 80 because I know for a fact it doesn't deserve that. Oh man,
I'm gonna say Diamond and Pearl remakes. Yeah, I'm gonna say 77 to 80, and I'm gonna say Arceus probably 80. Probably 80. Yeah, same case, 77 to 80. I definitely don't think it's gonna get anything higher than that. It shouldn't, because if it does, I'm just gonna be like, y'all people will really accept anything, won't y'all? Yeah, Pokemon's got his name on it. It'll be okay.
People not believing that Pokemon Snap is gorgeous. Trust me, people, look it up. It looks amazing.
it really.
It does. I haven't seen it since like the trailers came out, but I remember the trailers and I remember it looking good. But yeah, that's the Pokemon talk. I'm kind of getting sick of how Pokemon does things. They annoy me. All right, so let's go on to what we're currently playing, and I think that will be our last segment for this.
Sounds good.
Who wants to start off?
I'll go. So I'm in one of those periods where I'm juggling games. I recently, because of Blake, got back into Fortnite, believe it or not. And actually, they made the game quite better. It's actually pretty fun. They had a bunch of new mechanics and stuff. And I'm better at the game than I thought. It helps when you're actually competent. You can get a group of friends around. So yeah, I've actually been playing that. I still refuse to spend real life money on it though, so I have my basic skin. I also been playing actually at this very moment, Super Robot Wars GC, the GameCube game. Recently got an English patch. So I've been testing that. It's actually pretty fun. Also, in my spare time, I'm playing Neo the World Ends With You, taking my time with it, but as I said on the last podcast, still enjoying it. Am I playing anything else majorly at the moment? Trying to think. Those are like the big three. I'm probably playing like one or two other small games here and there. I also got the actually I won a competition today for the Final Fantasy 1 Pixel Remaster. So I technically can play that now whenever I want, but probably not anytime soon. But yeah, that's kind of it for me.
Okay. I'll say what I'm playing next. I've been playing Neo the War Ends With You, trying to play that more. I don't know why I'm not into it, because I really enjoyed the first one. I don't know why I'm just not spending at least 2 hours each day or 3 hours each day playing it. I don't know. I seem to be playing it in like little itty bitty pieces of like 20 or 30 minutes at a time. I don't know why. It's still a good game. I guess because it feels like the first game a lot, and I guess that's the whole point, but I don't know. It's still a good game. Also, kind of playing Final Fantasy 14 off and on, but I know I'm gonna stop playing that when Tales of Arise releases. But for now, getting back into the swing of things with it, I gotta ask you, Bob, because I think you played it a lot. What makes Final Fantasy 14 so great?
You said, well, what point are you at in it?
I'm still at A Realm Reborn, I believe.
All right, so to understand why 14 is good, you have to like understand its development. So, of course, we all know the original Final Fantasy 14. They like nuked that and replaced it. What you're playing, A Realm Reborn, was essentially a very rushed but well done project, and is good. But you won't see why 14 is phenomenal until you get to the end of that original A Realm Reborn, because that's when they could take the time to do their stories, their characters the way they wanted to. And that's when it starts rivaling like the other Final Fantasy games as a contender for the best in the series.
Oh, okay, really? So I think some people are saying like Heaven's Sworn
Yeah,
or something like
yes,
that is the one.
Heaven's Sword. When you get to Heaven's Sword, it takes off to the stratosphere.
So that's the next.
Ooh.
That's the next thing after I'm
Yeah.
done with the Realm Reborn stuff. Okay.
Blew me away.
Super chat from Night Fury. We got these. What the hell? We gotta
get these bunny.
Oh, the Vieira.
these bunny girls and make them bounce. Oh my god. Hey man, the only bunny girl I know is Fran from 12. So she's great. But yeah, 14. As I'm playing it right now, I guess when I get to the next expansion that they released, or next DLC that they released, or whatever they call it, it'll be better. But right now, it's just like go here, kill that, and yeah, more go here and kill that. It's not really all
You'll
that.
also notice that when you go through the expansions, they cut down the stuff you don't like the just fetch quest that just dwindles away.
Oh, okay. All right. So I gotta get to the rest. I gotta get to after this because I don't know. I was gonna start over and make a new character, but I was like, I'm way too far in this. I like evolved my character into a Dragoon, and I remember that taking me a long time from when I was first playing it. So I just picked up right when I left off, and like the characters aren't really that. I guess it's not that memorable. Yeah, I guess it's A Realm Reborn. Once I get to the rest, it'll probably pick up more. But yeah, it's just easy to pick up and play Final Fantasy 14. Like the controller support is just phenomenal. Like I don't know, I can't get used to keyboard and mouse. I just can't do it. I try. Okay, I'm not gonna say I try, but I like there have been occasions where I try to play with keyboard and mouse. I just love the controller, and Final Fantasy 14 support for the controller is phenomenal.
It honestly is. I went into that thinking this is gonna be a mess on controller. And I remember the first time I got into it playing with like Arceus and someone else, I was like, this doesn't feel bad on keyboard, but I don't like it like that. And then I ended up playing on controller and I'm like, this is perfect. Especially for someone like me who plays Ninja. You can do all your jutsus, all your skills, you can just hit keys back and forth on your controller so free. It feels so good.
Yeah, I feel like if maybe more MMOs followed the Final Fantasy 14 control scheme, I might play them. But MMOs as a whole, I feel like they just don't have an end. Which I think with Final Fantasy there are ends. Like you have the A Realm Reborn part, and then you got the Heavensworn, and then you have the Stormblood, I think, and then the newest one that's coming out soon, Endwalker or something like that. So maybe those are the end to the games, I guess. But like MMOs, really, I never find an end in sight. So I play them for a little bit and I just drop them for the most part. But 14, like I said, for the next 2 weeks, it'll probably have my attention. But after that, Arise will have my complete undivided attention. And then I heard that Tales of Destiny director's cut got an English patch, So I decided to check that out, and I was like, oh, this actually isn't that bad. I don't know if it's the platform that I'm playing it on. It makes it look even better, but I say the sprites, they've really held up. Like, I don't know why Bandai Namco hasn't re-released this game.
Yeah, the PS2 2D games still look amazing.
Yeah, it looks really
Probably
good.
like my favorite sprite work in 2D games.
Yeah, like the sprite work is really good. I love good sprite work, and Tales of Destiny, it holds up really well. I'm not too sure. I'm a big fan of the how the combat works so far. I guess I get used to it because all your actions is governed by CC, even the just normal attacks. So I have to wait for the CC to recycle or get to 5 before I can start unleashing some combos, and then it goes back down to 2 being the max, and then I have to just expend it or something like that so I can build it back up again. It's weird, but I guess I'll get used to it and I'll figure it out. But overall, like, it seems to be pretty good, and I can understand why some people love it. And the patch itself seems to be really good. Like, the dialogue flows really well. It almost seems like an official localization to me, for the most part. But
Has that quality assurance.
yeah, exactly. So, but we'll see. And I think that's all I'm playing. I did get my hands on a PS5 for the first time in my life. It's not my PS5, it's a friend's PS5. He let me borrow it so I could play Tales of Arise, because I didn't want to play Tales of Arise on PS4 and 30 FPS. He let me borrow it. The first thing I noticed about the PS5, it's huge. That's first of all. It's, oh my god, it's huge. Like, people have always been saying it's huge, and I was like, it's not that big. I get it. I'm like, god damn, I gotta make some separate space just for this big ass behemoth. So yeah, it's huge. And then like I turn it on, and I'm like, this just feels like an upgraded PS4 for the most part. This feels like PS4.5. Like, when I get a new console, I expect the menu, I expect the user interface to be different, to be something that I've never seen before. But I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't segregate people. Don't, like, you know, get your, like, casual audience to be like, I'm not familiar with this. Like, how do I get to everything? I gotta relearn this whole interface. I guess you don't want that to happen. So they pretty much make it look like the PS4. I do like the fact that the PlayStation Store isn't like its own separate app. It's just like integrated into the UI for the most part, and everything runs just snappy as hell.
Thank God. Nobody told me that about the PS5. I legitimately thought like I had to deal with that like I've had multiple occasions where opening the PSN store would crash my PS4.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
Because of how long it would take to load, especially if it was a sale with like a really big fancy graphic. I'd be sitting there to a point where I get the crash menu, but it would bug out and say, oh, X application has crashed, but the spot where the application name would be is blank, and then I just have to turn off my whole PS4 and turn it back on.
The PS5 did impress me with its SSD speed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, it loads games up so much faster. I actually had to do I actually had to transfer my Final Fantasy VII save data, and I had to start up Final Fantasy VII. So I had Final Fantasy VII running in one room, and then I had my room with the PS5. It took forever for the PS4 version to load. I'm like, how did I deal with this? It took absolutely way too long for it to load. Maybe it was updating. I don't know. It took way too long to load. And then I load into a game. It still takes forever to load. The loading screen takes forever. I upgrade to the PS5 version. Instantly, it loads. It loads in like seconds. I'm like, God damn, this is fast. Like, how do we live before this? This is ridiculous. This is why I need like current PS5 games to come out to take advantage of this SSD, because I do think Arise would have benefited from it a lot.
I was also impressed with the general power of the PS5 when I got to try one. I played a few games, but probably the most notable one visually was Demon Souls. I played it on a 4K TV, and it ran at a smooth 60 frames, and just it did not chug. Like, even for a like dark, gritty game, it looked beautiful, which impressed me. So I was like, okay, PS5 is actually working with some power. I'm impressed.
Yeah, and yeah, I do think it's a nice little step up from PS5, but it like, until we get more PS5 games, I'm still gonna call it PS4.5 for the most part. Because like all games that are being made for the most part are being cross-gen. They're being made with PS4, Xbox One specifications in mind, and then just port it to PS5, Xbox Series X, which just like higher settings enabled or something like that, and then that's about it.
Which, like, if you're someone like Bow or Shadow who has a really good gaming PC, you can just buy a said game on Steam and then turn those settings up yourself.
Yep, exactly.
So you just sitting there like, I spent $500 on a different. It's like, the best way I could put it is, the PS4 Slim and the PS4 are like the regular costume for a character in Overwatch. The PS4 Pro is like the purple skin. It comes in another color, but you have the default color. The PS5 is literally just a legendary colored PS4. That's it. It has a different shape to it, but it's the same character.
Yep, it's a different skin. I get that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the PS5. It's huge. It's fast. I like it. We just need more PS5 games that actually take advantage of the hardware.
Yeah.
So yeah. Sosuke, what are you playing, man?
Recently I actually decided to download Sakura Wars onto my PS4 because I was like, I've seen, like, I remember when the game was coming out, and I just remember being interested in it because the artist for Bleach, Tita Kubo, did art for it. So I'm like, okay, let me try this out. And I only knew about Sakura Wars through Project Cross Zone. So going into it, I'm like, okay, this looks... I still like that theme, like the Sakura Wars theme. It still sounds good. And then I get to meet the characters. First of all, this game is incredibly pretty. Like, for a cel-shaded anime game, I didn't think it would run that smooth and have that good of a lighting engine. Like, the way light comes into rooms from, like, windows, or, like, how things look at night. It all looks so pretty. And I'm like, why is this game... Did nobody talk about the visuals for it? Combat runs at a smooth 60. It's a little Muso-esque, but it still feels... It doesn't feel repetitive because you get to bring someone else with you. I'm on chapter... Yeah, I'm on, like, chapter 2, and I'm in love with, like, all the girls in this game. Like, they're all really good characters, and I can't make a decision. Like, I had somebody ask me, so, like, oh, which ending are you going for? I don't know yet. I'll get back to you on that one. I'll tell you later. Because, like, you get, like, these nice little tender moments where you get to, like... In a way, it's like that remove thing from Fire Emblem Fates where, like, you can examine different parts of them and you get different responses. But if you examine the wrong part of them, like, the relationship regresses a little bit and the game punishes you. But at the same time, I like those moments. I like these characters.
Real quick, we got super chat from UZX Crimson Avenger. You sound like a character out of Konosuba. What's his name? What's this guy's name? Globlu, whatever, said the low transition when crossing the bridge on a Rise demo would get annoying. I'm like, aren't you playing this game on a PS5 though? See, that's the thing. Tales of Arise is made with PS4 specifications in mind. It doesn't really take advantage of the PS5. Like, if a game has a loading screen on PS4, it's still gonna have that same loading screen on PS5. It might be a little bit faster, but it's still gonna, like, perform the same way as it does on PS4. That loading screen is still there. It's like, it's not gonna suddenly disappear or be like a split second, so like it's how the game is made. Even though there is a PS5 version of Tales of Arise, it doesn't fully take advantage of the PS5 as a SSD. Not like Final Fantasy 7 does, in my opinion. Definitely doesn't. But yeah, that guy's video was a little bit crazy. He was the one I was mentioning earlier. It's like he never played a JRPG or never played a Tales of game. But I think I said it. That's the type of person that these companies are looking to get, so they can get newcomers into the series and get them talking about it, so their fan base can play the game and then they can get more sales. But if they don't,
T2, that's a good question. Anybody going to be watching Gamescom?
If I can remember.
I don't ever watch Gamescom. I think something was supposed to come at Gamescom. That's a big deal. I forgot what it was.
Saints Row.
Oh yeah, Saints Row. Yeah, Saints Row supposed to come.
I'm only going to be watching Gamescom for actual footage of the KOF 15 stuff that we'll be getting, because KOF 15 got some things leaked. Like, we know we know some new characters that are coming, and 2 other characters that are coming back. but we only have like scuffed 240p screenshots to go off of instead of like, actual gameplay. So I'm kind of just gonna watch that, and I'm gonna wait for that instead.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna look for updates on Gamescom. I'm not really gonna watch it. I'll see what's going on. See if they announce anything. Maybe there might be some, I don't know, Dead Space gameplay. I don't know, for the new game, I guess. But I don't expect anything from Gamescom because they don't really have JRPG stuff there for the most part. So it just goes right past me, flies right over my head.
I need to look up what day it is, like when it starts, so that I know. Oh, KOF is happening here.
Okay. All right. I think that's pretty much it. That's all I want to talk about. We talked about Tales of Rise. We talked about Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. We talked about Arceus, and we talked about the games we're currently playing. I don't got anything else to talk about. Chat, do you got any last second things, or maybe Bob, you got something? I don't
know. The only thing I can think of is that everyone should pre-order a Super Robot Wars 30.
Oh my God.
Other than that, not really.
Lord have mercy.
I got one thing to say. If you are into anime fighting games, buy Melty Blood Type Lumina coming out on September 30th. Do it. Like, please. If you've played Under Night, if you've played Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, buy Melty Blood. It is going to be that fighting game for the year. I'm just saying.
I was gonna say, is it gonna be at Evo? But did Evo already happen?
Yeah, Evo already happened.
Oh, okay. See, why did I feel like Evo just came in wet? I don't know.
Kinda did, because the lineup this year was pretty lackluster for games. Not gonna lie.
Oh, okay. That's
like
weird.
the side tournaments. The side tournaments had a better selection of games.
Yeah, some people are saying they might mess with Melty Blood. This man, Sweet Life of Dio, said he chose Sarah in Cold Steel 4. Oh my goodness.
Best choice.
Should chose Emma. We got somebody saying, how do you feel about Trails of Cold Steel games? We love them. We talk about them all the time, my guy.
We sure do. Coogan, to answer your question, I may check out the other Sakura Wars games after I play this one, because I heard those are turn-based, like strategy RPGs, and I like SRW. I like Fire Emblem. I gotta get back to Disgaea, but I enjoy what I played of one, so I'm definitely gonna be checking out those.
Oh yeah, Vex Hard Axe has anything being confirmed for Tokyo Game Show. I honestly don't even pay attention to Tokyo Game Show anymore. They don't show anything off like new or like world premieres at Tokyo Game Show. Pretty much, like any JRPG that has a major announcement, it's being announced at almost a Western show or like E3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like no longer is it like new, like is it like Tokyo Game Show is that place I go for JRPG news anymore. There might be updates on existing games, like maybe like there might be a new trailer or something like that, but like rarely is it any like just like new bangers or anything like that. Like the rumor was going around about Xenoblade Chronicles 3 being a thing. Like I don't think that's going to show up at Tokyo Game Show. That probably is going to show up at that's got a better chance of showing up at probably Gamescom or E3.
That's a Nintendo Direct.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's a Nintendo Direct announcement anyway. See,
like I see like a Nintendo Direct happening sometime this year, and we'll probably get like a trailer for that.
Yeah.
Like either a real trailer or a teaser, because I don't consider teasers. When it comes to video games, I don't consider teasers actual trailers. That's like a movie. Like that feels more like just a movie look into it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I see. I'm mad how like when I asked the chat what's stuff to talk about, it literally goes into the who's best girl, who's wife.
Oh no!
Oh my god! The whole chat. Look, you got Sarah best girl, Elise worst girl.
We don't have those kind
Renee.
of come on.
Oh God. Judith.
Let's be real here. When it comes to Trails of Cold Steel, your waifu choice doesn't matter because they belong to Reen at the end of the day. I'm just saying.
He's got the ultimate harem going on. Like no lie. Everybody wants this, man. Oh my goodness. Alright. Guess what, chat? It's all subjective. Not Emma. Emma's not subjective. That's completely objective.
She kind of cute.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. I stand Emma, and I always will. I'll even simp for Emma. If Emma had an OnlyFans.
Oh, well, what you mean? What you mean OnlyFans, sir?
I would be subscribed, okay? I would be supporting, okay? All right, I would take at least 60% of my paycheck and give. Nah, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do all that.
Man said, "Listen, I don't have to have like I can go like at least 1 month without internet to support Emma. I'll be fine." There's an Emma with an OnlyFans, just not Milstein.
Oh man,
that one don't matter.
How about Cardinal Kizuki? You jumping on fan spreadsheet? I don't get it. What's that mean?
Like does it have like a full translation?
Oh, absolutely. Oh no, please! I don't do that. That's too much.
If you guys don't know, the Trails games, fans make like the translations for them on like an app. And then you like do something with the capture card, and like every time you click X, like the translation will go to the next piece of dialogue for you.
That seems like too much work.
It's literally clicking X, Shadow.
But like to set all that, like
yeah, you got set up the app and stuff like that.
Imagine being somebody without a capture card for that.
Yeah.
Shit. I remember trying to play Super Robot Wars DD on like BlueStacks, and I'm thinking, oh okay. No, I played it on my phone first. I'm like, okay, let me look up like a screen translate, a thing that like translates whatever on your screen. Turns out that people make those screen translating things, and then they make you pay for it after you use it like on one app. And I'm like, nah, I ain't messing with that. Nah, I ain't touching that. And so I just played it on BlueStacks and used the whatchamacallit, the screen translation, and used the screen translation from that free.
You got one question in the super chat. Not super chat. In the chat. How do you organize playing all your games? I have a high back catalog and need some advice.
I honestly just play whatever I'm in the mood for.
And my girlfriend like got on my ass the other day about that because I have a tendency to just be like, I'm enjoying this. Hey, what's that over there? And I end up like just bouncing through games. And she got on my ass. She was like, you can't really keep doing that because you're gonna have too many games to play at once. And I'm trying to dial that back myself. Like, I can play 2 or 3 games. If, like, it's a story-focused one, I can do that. If it's something like Monster Hunter, Dead by Daylight, like, something multiplayer-focused or, like, just hammer the buttons, I can play that whenever. But, like, right now, story-focused game, I'm going to try and get back into Scarlet Nexus and play that and Sakura Wars back and forth. That way I don't sit there like, shit, I should be playing something.
Yeah, I
don't want to play that right now.
Yeah, I kind of like I try to stick to one game at a time. Like I know I said I was playing Tales of Destiny and I'm playing Final Fantasy, but I'm not really taking those games seriously. Like I just play them off and on here and there when I feel like it. The real game that I'm playing or I should be playing is Neo: The World Ends With You, and that's the game I consider myself actually to be playing. But for the most part, try to stick to one game. That's how I finished Scarlet Nexus. Because if I started jumping around everywhere, I would have never got Scarlet Nexus done. I said, I gotta buckle down, just play this game by itself, because I like it, and there's no reason why I shouldn't be playing it, like, nearly all the time. Yeah, that's
mean. At least you didn't make the mistake like I did of going, I think I'll stream this game, because saying I'll stream the entire game from start to finish, and then going, I really want to play this. Oh, wait, I'd have to start up a whole stream.
Yep, that's how it took me forever to beat Nocturne, because I only regulated the streams.
I'm gonna have to make sure that's what, like, a game I can consistently play.
This man said Scarlet 7 out of 10 Nexus. Oh man,
boy,
that game is not a 7 out. See that's like one of the things. Like we already addressed this with Tales of Arise and what it can do to be like Persona or reach a 95 on Metacritic. I don't know what more that game could have done. The only thing I think Scarlet Nexus could have done is maybe make the story a little bit better. Maybe make the game a little bit longer to like flesh out its ideas and environments and terminology, because there were some times where I was just like, what the hell is a Kunan Gate? What the hell is a Akihabara?
I'm pretty sure like by the time I beat both stories and I'm on my next game, my memory will be hazy, but I'll be like, I'll have a grasp. Like I think I remember that clearly. Yeah. It's not like I did with 13 Sentinels, where like I made sure I understood everything and could still recite specific information to someone if they're playing.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think that's a podcast. We're gonna head up out of here with our outros. Go ahead, Sosuke.
It has been me, your boy, the Wandering Gamer, just passing through, and I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm actually making real YouTube content again, trying to make videos where it's just me rambling about whatever game I've played or I'm currently playing. Known as Wandering Thoughts. If y'all want to check that out, I recently put out a video about Tales of Arise myself, and also put out one about a fighting game called Chaos Code. The first, it was like when I made that, it was still like my first time playing that, and that game is still like an experience of a fighting game to me. So like, if y'all want to hear some stuff about that, go on over there and check it out. My next one might be Kamen Rider related. Who knows? I'll definitely let y'all know.
All right. Bao?
This has been your host of the HPMP podcast, Bao Sakaraga. Thank you all for coming out to another week.
Come
Had a fun time, even with the lesser, I guess, crowd today. So I had a good time and nice viewer turnout. So thank you guys.
Oh my God.
I appreciate y'all. Very nice number, by the way.
Recently did a video giving my thoughts on Tales of Arise, and I'm also planning to do a video before the end of the month on my thoughts on open world games and how they're hit or miss for me. So that should be a good one. I'm hoping to knock that one out the park. So subscribe to me if you want to see that. And last thing, remember to pre-order Super Robot Wars 30.
You know what? You know what, Bao? Anytime you be saying pre-order Super Robot Wars or you the host, you could just dance in front of traffic. Just dance in front of traffic. Go on the highway.
Gotta let the people know.
You see a bridge. Just go to the edge of the bridge.
Man. He's just trying to spread the word.
All right. I'm tired of that, man. My podcast. All right, guys. Y'all know who this is. Mr. JRPG, the primary antagonist, Shadow Elite. I'm not sure what my next video is gonna be on. I'm thinking of getting back into the I don't want to call them top 5 JRPG videos or 5 JRPG videos, but I'll probably get that one up soon. I got an idea for one. If not, I'll probably talk about Tales of Arise. That's my first impressions, but that game releases in 2 weeks, so I gotta get out a video before that. Yeah, guys. Continue to follow everybody. Bao and Sosuke. We're all over Twitter. We have our own Discords, I believe. Join my Discord. If you want to talk about stuff, and I'm always around if you need some type of advice on JRPGs or something like that. Maybe not all the time, but I'm around. That's it. I think, like Bao said, we had a pretty good turnout, even though it was just the 3 of us. A lot of viewers. It was good at peak. So yeah, thank you guys for all the support. We ask that you hit the like button on your way out if you can. If you can't, well, I don't know why you can't, but hey, it is what it is. I can't force you to do anything. All right, next episode is 69. Episode 69. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing on that one, but I'm going to try to find something interesting for episode 69. Maybe you guys can give me some ideas in the Discord or maybe in the comment section of this video. Anyway, that's it. We're out of here. Peace.
See ya.
Laters.